Welcome to Stitching Tales, a podcast about all things sewing your own garment, plus the secrets behind running a sewing business. And my name is Johanna Lundström.
And my name is Malena Hjerpe.
And in today's episode, we are going to talk about summer sewing. Do you have the summer vibe, Malena, this summer here in Sweden, 2025?
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see I'm still wearing my scarf, my knitted scarf. Summer. Hello, what happened? Come on. I mean, I know I live in the northern part of Sweden, so summer is always late here, and it's quite short. It is like light during the night, it never gets really dark, so that is a plus. But yeah, where is the sun? It has been raining and it has been so cold. It's not so.
What's the temperature up in Umeå, in the northern part of Sweden?
It is like 12-13 degrees or something.
Right,
like you need a jacket, like a proper jacket, and it rain. Not at the moment. The whole day yesterday it was raining, and a little bit today, and it's so windy, and yeah, it is. This is something that, I mean, I think it not just Swedes, but general Nordic people discussing the weather. Like, oh my God, I'm a little bit sad. How is it in Gothenburg? Have you seen the sun yet?
Yeah, I've seen the sun for sure. But it's been very cold, and I'm going to drop. We're definitely higher, but I would say on average the temperature has been between 15 and 17 degrees. And when we're recording this, just a couple of days after midsummer, for context, which is the peak summer here in Sweden normally, and on the Midsummer Eve, because that's a big celebration here in Sweden, that was the first time I wore a summer skirt this summer, and I told my boyfriend maybe this is the first and the last day of summer, because it was actually over 20 degrees and sunshine, and we could sit outside, and I could feel like I got a little bit of a sun, actually hitting my skin. And I got a little bit warm, so I have no idea if that was peak summer, suitably now at midsummer, and then now we're going into fall. I have no idea, because right now I'm, for context, Gothenburg is in the southern part of Sweden. I'm looking out, and it's super windy. The prognosis for the upcoming 10 days is rain every single day, and it's so hard to dress as well, because you don't really know what's going to happen. And even when we had warmer days, with the thermometer has maybe shown warmer days, it's been really cold winds pretty much every single day. So you have to wear a jacket at least parts of the day, because the wind is so cold, even though maybe it's 16 or 17 degrees outside. So this kind of wonderful timing to talk about summer sewing and all the things.
Yeah, we are trying to pep ourselves, like, come on, summer, let's talk about something fun, summer sewing.
Yeah.
But our in spirit, yes, questionable.
Questionable, but we like to do what we call evergreen episodes, so hopefully there will be warmer weathers, and I'm sure in lots of other countries, because we know that we have listeners all over the world, you are actually able to wear more of a summer makes to accommodate the heat and the vibe of the season. Not for us right now, but maybe we believe in manifesting, so maybe just simply doing this episode, who knows, maybe we will actually be able to wear some summer garments. We'll see, but this episode is all things basically summer sewing, and I personally love making clothes for summer, even though I normally don't get to wear them as much, because we live in Sweden, right? So yeah, it's always cold or rainy at least part of the summer. So this is extreme this summer, but it's a common occurrence. But when you think of summer and sewing, what kind of garments do you think of, Malena?
I usually think like lightweight woven fabrics, linen preferably, cotton as well, or like viscose rayon, something a little bit that has a little bit more drape in it. I love to wear and I was gonna say I love to sew those things for summer, but I mean I don't. Unfortunately, haven't been able to sew. I mean, for the last couple of years, for fun, just for pleasure. But if wishful thinking, if I would be sewing for summer, that's the kind of fabrics I definitely would be using. And I mean, I love. I'm not really into when it's woven, not in like bodycon tight fitted garments. I like oversized, easy, airy garments. And I mean, linen fabric is just perfect for that. So that is on my wish list, definitely. What about you?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like to wear lightweight fabrics. I sew a lot in lightweight cottons. I'm a big fan of lightweight cottons like cotton lawn and those batiste fabrics. And I also love rayon because they are so nice and flowing. For winter, they are a little bit too light in the fabric, but for summer they are perfect. So I've sewn lots of blouses and dresses in rayon, woven rayon, and I have also a lot of linen and cotton in particular. And I also am so much more drawn to color and print in the summer, because normally I wouldn't say I have a very restrained palette for being a Swede. I do like some colors and prints, but I still gravitate towards a lot of like darker blue and gray and dark green, all those kind of darker colors. But in the summer, I love making prints. So I'm always looking out for fabrics that has beautiful prints, because that's where to me, that is summer. And I love to mix prints a lot in the summer as well, which I probably don't do as much in the winter. I think in the winter I would probably, wear maybe a blue jeans and maybe a printed blouse, but I wouldn't wear both the top and bottom in prints. So for me, summer is very much those colorful, bold prints where that's why I love that kind of fabric shopping, even though of course I don't end up wearing them as much as I would like to. But I'm definitely going to post some photos over at stitchingtalespod on some of my favorite summer makes, which I have quite a few in my wardrobe. I love sewing for summer, and the lightness of the fabric and figuring out what kind of fabric doesn't make you sweat. And as a woman, I do sweat a lot, and as a woman of a certain age, I'm even more prone to being quite hot in the summer. So for me, having those properties. And what would you say, Malena, are the best fabric for keeping yourself reasonably cool even on warmer days?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the color. Choose a lighter color, white or something like. I mean, obviously, a dark color, dark blue, black. It is gonna be warmer, obviously. So just picking a lighter color, I think, is going to help a lot. But then, I mean, natural fibers, those are the ones that breathe. So that is going to be so much nicer to against your skin. And also, I mean, if you have a tight-fitted garment, yeah, I mean, that is going to be a little bit more warm compared to if you have a loose, easy, breezy, light, oversized garment. So I mean, yeah, choose a certain style and natural fibers. I think that's a go-to choices.
And one of the reasons why I really like to sew my own garments during summer is the fact that I can use those nice breathable materials that I've found is getting increasingly more and more difficult to find in ready-to-wear. So for instance, if I go to a high street chain store, like a fashion store, today a lot of, especially summer dresses with those beautiful prints, they are not made of rayon or cotton or linen, they are made of polyester. And from my understanding, polyester is not as breathable, even though with modern technology, than compared to those natural fibers. Am I still correct about that, Malena?
Yeah, I mean, polyester is made of plastic. So yeah, you're wearing plastic basically all over. So I mean, no, it's not going to be as breathable as the natural fibers, unfortunately.
So do you think it's a money thing because the fabrics and things like that have got more expensive, they want to cut their cost, or why is the reason why we see so much polyester right now for summer clothes?
I definitely would say it's a cost issue. Polyester fabrics are usually cheaper, but also you can do things with polyester. You can like, how to say, develop the fabric in a much wider range compared to natural fibers, because you create it from scratch. And so you can give it like different characteristics, like how they are working, how they are, the thickness. You can do so much with polyester also. Like there are so many different types of polyester, I would say. And also when you color it or print it, you do that in a different way compared to natural fibers. You use completely different types of like synthetic coloring stuff, so you can have, it's so much easier also to make like really vibrant colors on synthetic fibers of like polyester and acrylic compared to natural fibers. Like really bright neon colors, I don't think you really can achieve that on natural fibers, but it's so much more easy to do on polyester. And I mean, as you all know, we always like recommend and go for the natural fiber route. It's just so much better for the environment and also nicer to your skin. But polyester, it's not all bad. I mean, I have, for example, my two favorite summer garments that are polyester. They are like trousers, a little bit more relaxed fit pull-on trousers. They have not, I mean, I've washed them several times. They have not like changed in any way. I mean, the fabric is dead, it's not a natural fiber, but the colors, I mean, there's no pilling or anything. They are really like strong polyester. So even though it's trousers and it is quite thin fabric, but still like no tearing at all on them. And a tunic that I have like really nice print. Also, it's not, since it's so loose, it's fine that it is in polyester and it doesn't really breathe, because I mean it's so airy anyway. The fit is so relaxed, so you can wear them still. And I've had it for 20 years. It has like, it still looks the same as it is when I bought it. Both are from H&M, so it's not like crazy expensive garments either. But that's the unfortunate benefit also with polyester, that not all polyester, some are pilling like crazy, and I don't know really what's the difference between, but some are like staying exactly the same all the time. So yeah, I mean, those garments have lasted many years and will continue lasting. So there are pros and cons, but it's the amount of polyester garments that is the issue. We can't produce this much polyester in the world. Like, it is not sustainable at all. So it's more choose wisely, reduce the amount that needs to be focused on. But yeah, I mean, polyester can be great for summer as well, as long as I would really recommend then don't do tight-fitted garments, because that is really going to feel like wearing a plastic bag. Yeah. It's not going to be breathable at all.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, with the exception, if you talk about functional fabrics, such as those that you use for activewear, then it's...
Yeah, those usually have a wicking effect, exactly. It's called, like the fibers are like have a certain shape, so it actually transport the moist away from you. So that's why activewear often are in some sort of polyester or nylon or modal, or not modal, polyamide. So they are really specific for those kind of things. But yeah, it's not the nicest feeling either. No. I think those sport garments, I mean, it is kind of claustrophobic feeling sometimes. Yeah,
I agree with you. Even though I always wear them when I'm working out, I definitely don't really like to wear them. Even if it's going to be a bit more sweaty, I do prefer a tight-fitting cotton t-shirt over a tight-fitting activewear or functional fabric t-shirt. So, I mean, I do wear some tight-fitting garments in the summer. I mean, a tight-fitting cotton lycra tops, and also I like to wear tank tops, and those are obviously also tight fitting. But I do find the fact that they are made from cotton still, even though I do sweat a little bit in them, I find that they are so pleasant to wear, even when the weather is really hot. So I'm a big fan of using plain old cotton for a lot of stuff in the summer. I have no issue with that at all. I think, you know, you might get a little bit more sweaty, but it's not that bad in my opinion. But you're very true about the tight fitting aspect. That makes such a huge difference, and I can attest. I also inherited a pair of polyester palazzo pants from my daughter. Sounds similar to the one you have, and because they are dark blue, but because they're so wide and there's so much air coming through the legs, I found that especially this summer when it hasn't been like super hot, this has been a pretty good like transitional garment, because it is it's not too and not too hot and too cold, but you bring such a good point there, that the key here is there has to be a lot of air being able to come in and cool your body from some point, rather than if you would do a very tight fitting dress, for instance, in a polyester fabric, that would probably be asking for trouble when it comes to the lack of wicking and when your perspiration. So yeah, not a massive fan. I think rayon is also a little bit of a hit and miss. I love wearing rayon in the summer, but some rayon I find they can actually cause me to sweat a little bit or not transport the moisture. So I think the safest bet is linen, and silk is also good, I think. Silk and linen, I wonder if those are the best bets a lot of the time for...
Yeah, I mean, linen is... it's funny because there are a few fabrics that actually ages beautifully, that actually becomes more prettier the more you wear it, and just before they break down, I mean, that's basically their peak. And I found that to be denim and denim fabric and linen fabric. I mean, the softer the linen fabric is, the nicer. So yeah, those garment also ages very well until the breaking point, of course, which is very sad. But yeah, that's the thing. The thinner the fabric, I mean, obviously it is going to be more easily damaged and worn out, unfortunately. But yeah, linen, it's unbeatable. And it's actually, that's also from an environmental point of view, that's also a really sustainable fabric. You would think that cotton is sustainable since it's natural fiber. It's not. It is so heavily polluted and uses so much water when it's grown, and usually also is grown in very dry places, so all the water is used there. There are different kind of cottons as well, like organic cotton and BCI, Better Cotton Initiative cottons that are better than just conventional cotton. But linen, it's so much better. It's more a green choice if you want to go more eco-friendly.
So I'm really curious, Malena, what would you say is your favorite summer type of garment? What is your signature style in the summer?
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit like conflicting here, because like what I'm actually wearing or what I wish I would be wearing, two completely different things. I wish I would be wearing so much more summer dresses. I mean, they are just so nice, and the fit on a dress, it's just so much easier to get by if you have no sleeves and you don't have any crotch issues that you would have when you have pants. A dress is just like, such an easier way of going if you want to avoid. I mean, obviously there can be fit issues there as well, but if you don't have sleeves, it's a much more straightforward garment. In reality, t-shirt, and I have been wearing the last couple of years, I have been wearing these shorts that I have actually sewn out of my Fieldfare joggers. I have just cropped them and added a little bit of width, so I get a little bit more looser, relaxed fit, and I have been wearing that basically whenever it's warm enough. So I'm not... Unfortunately, the summers it's just out in the garden and taking care of kids, so it's nothing like I don't have that many fancy occasions that I can wear pretty dresses on.
Yeah. I see some people wear them to work, and I have a few colleagues that wear them to work, and I get so happy because it's so nice to see those bold prints, even if you're working, in my case, in an office environment, and you will see clear colors, maybe some pink and flowers and things like that, which you usually do not see in workplaces here in Sweden, at least, or in colors in general. So sometimes I think maybe we pull back a little bit. We could probably go a little bit more brave in that terms, but I get you. We like to reach for functionality a lot of the time. So
yeah, and I mean just practical things like I work from home. I mean, unfortunately, I always get out of my PJs pretty quickly, but I mean I'm always in my joggers and casual t-shirt or sweatshirt, knitted wool sweatshirt, because it's always cold here, not bitter at all. But you live in a city, don't you? Do you have any more occasions to dress up for and maybe wear some me-made garments?
Definitely, I love to dress up as soon as I can, and I have a few garments that I always gravitate towards, and most of them I've sewn myself. And I love wearing skirts in the summer because I find that the flow of the air is so cooling, and those are my to-go-to, I would say, when it comes to keeping myself a little bit colder. I do wear shorts as well, but a skirt, they are just so nice. Plus with the skirt is it's so versatile. The dress is like an entire outfit, but with skirts I can mix and match, and I find I get more use out of it. So I guess my signature summer skirt, which I have tons, and I will post them also, of course, on our Stitching Tales Instagram account, but I love A-line skirt with pleats. It can be box pleats or stitch down pleats, and I always add pockets to those skirts, regardless if the pattern has it or not. So I always make sure that I have pockets, and of course then it's too wide. And then I prefer not to have a rigid waistband. Instead, I love skirts that has facing instead. So it's to try to minimize as much bulk as possible in the waist area, because I find even with the waistband and all the extra, I find that can feel a little bit rigid in the summer. And I love to have that kind of softness and flow that you get when you just add a facing. So I do tend to sew a lot of those. And for blouses, I tend to again gravitate quite a lot towards print and have a more flowy style. I definitely wear more tight-fitting garments in the winter, and so I love to sew things with very lightweight fabrics such as cotton batiste or silk, georgette, or similar very lightweight rayon fabrics, because they usually come in beautiful print designs and colors. So those are probably my go-tos always. So I always have a lightweight blouse, and because then I can wear it either with just a bra and have a button, or I can wear it as a lightweight jacket, so to speak, to protect my shoulders. So then I keep it open, and then I just wear like a tank top underneath. So I have those options, because I like to have clothes that protects me from the sun somewhat. So I don't have to mess too much with what do you call it, sunscreen, and then that all can also mess up lightweight fabrics. So you will very seldom find me with bare shoulders, even on the hottest day. And my solution to that is to use a lot of like lightweight overshirts to get at least some type of protection.
Yeah, I mean, you are describing my future PDF pattern summer collection, things I wish I would do. Some shirt, loose fitted shirt, skirt, and some dress I would also like to create someday.
Love sundresses.
So
There's
nice.
so many beautiful, and there's so many beautiful patterns as well. If you really want to get into that style, you can find so many options. And I do have a few sundresses as well. And I always feel so, I guess the word is pretty, I guess. Anyway, I would not the term I would normally use to describe myself, but I feel like there's something very, especially I love those summer dresses that have slightly like vintage vibe or a little timeless feeling about them. I get so happy when I wear those. But those, of course, they do feel like sometimes to me they're a little bit step up when it comes to everyday clothing sometimes. But I always love to think about if I'm going abroad into a warmer climate, I definitely always bring a few sundresses as well. And I have those both in rayon, and I also have them in lightweight rayon lycra jersey. Those are a little bit wider, but the benefit of those is they can roll them up in a bag, and when you get to the destination, no crinkles whatsoever. So yeah, I'm a big fan actually of using rayon a lot for summer as well, and I've done that quite a bit with the jersey version.
Yeah, but it has not such a nice drape to it. It's quite heavy fabric, so it drapes really well. Because sometimes especially cotton, can be quite stiff. It doesn't doesn't drape so nicely, so it's not as versatile then. So rayon or viscose can be really, or modal, tencel, those kind of fabric can have such a nice drape if you use them for a dress. So
totally
really like those fabrics.
Me too, and I'm a big fan of Burda Style, the Burda Style fashion magazine, the pattern magazine from Germany. They have had for many years, they often publish at least one summer dress each year that is made for draped rayon jersey, because it's so fun to sew as well. Of course, sometimes these sections are a little bit spare, so you have to figure it out, because when it comes to draping, there's always a construction thing. It's not always intuitive how you get those drapes, but I love how creative they are being with placing the drapes, usually around the bodice area. So they have so many versions of that kind of dress, and I know a lot of other pattern companies have similar dresses, and those are also one of my favorite things to sew and wear, because you also get that volume. With the drape, it helps, create some volume and still makes it more interesting than just a basic dress.
Yeah, I mean, draping is just so fun also to sew, because technically it's not difficult at all to sew a garment that has a lot of drape to it. For example, the Bitula top that I have, that is basically, it's a t-shirt. It is as easy to sew as a regular t-shirt, nothing more complicated. But the way the pattern is constructed, it just creates really heavy asymmetrical drape to it. But sewing wise, I mean, nothing at all extraordinary. So that's so fun with drape garments, that it is sewing is as easy as on a regular garment, but the fabric just does magic afterwards. And it's so fun to wear as well.
Yeah, and it looks like a really elevated garment, as you say. The effort isn't really there.
Yeah, it looks complicated.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a low effort, high impact make. But it's definitely something that it's good to have a pattern, unless you're skilled with draping, because it's definitely a skill and understanding of construction that, of course, you that work in the business, you have trained eye, but for someone who is new to pattern drafting, it's definitely a different way of thinking, a more 3D way of thinking. So to me, I very much appreciate the fact that the pattern designers have made the work for me, because as you say, when you look at the pattern pieces, they look like nothing the way you would expect a normal.
Yeah, they feel a bit distorted.
And they're like, where go what? And as you say, once you just realize that everything just needs to be inserted inside that seam, and just then you're good to go. And the end result is fabulous. And there are so many beautiful rayon prints, especially here in Europe, having those. They are very, very common fabric to have rayon jersey prints as well. So if you like bold patterns and more colors, rayon jersey is definitely a great option to use for summer clothes.
Yeah, and it takes colors really well, so you can get really bright colors as well. So it's really it's really nice. I do think I need my wardrobe definitely would need a little color click update. It is very muted. Very much the same tone, nothing sticks out really there, but I mean, you also have your comfort zone where you the things that you feel comfortable in, basically. So kind of go for that.
Yeah, you don't want to make something just because it looks fun and then you realize you're not really comfortable and it's not really your style. And I mean, yeah, it's a pretty make, but it doesn't feel any function if it just sits there in your wardrobe. If you're watching the video version of this I'm wearing right now, this is a blouse, but it's made with rayon lycra jersey. And as you say, Malena, the colors are really nice. It's a pussy bow blouse with yoke and drapes, a little bit gathers, and it's just so nice. It's so comfortable, and I don't have to iron it, but it still looks like it's a little bit of a dressier make. So that's why I love the rayon. It's so flattering as well, the way it hangs on the body, and it's so perfect for rayon and gathers and all those kind of things. So I always look for those type of fabrics when I'm fabric shopping, because I know I will have get a lot of uses out of those garments, because also the fact that I don't have to iron them will always be the first pick in the wardrobe. And then the rest will come.
Yeah, so true. Do you have any sewing plans this summer? Are you gonna do anything for fun, not actual for work?
Yeah, I do have on my sewing table a rayon. Yes, it's a really high-end rayon woven fabric that I'm gonna do a raglan sleeve blouse that also has some gathers, and it's a really beautiful style. But I don't know, probably time and just it's so much things going on in my life, and I'm going away now. I had wanted to have it finished, but I haven't done any sewing on it.
You do the classic sew for vacation, rushing at the end.
Yeah, I normally do that, but this is just too much, and so it's kind of staring at me at my sewing table behind me right now, giving me like guilt, shaming me with its eye. But that's my first project, and probably, but then again, because it hasn't been warm, I haven't felt that motivated to finish it, to be honest. But after that, I actually plan to, because you mentioned your Fieldfare joggers, your sewing pattern, that you made a pair of shorts of that. So I actually just ordered 2 fabrics that I will turn my Vida knit pants into shorts as well. And just gonna do like a pattern hack. So one is a nice double knit which has a little bit of polyester, but it's mostly rayon. So it has a really nice hand. And the other fabric is stretch terry fabric in a bluish color. So I'm gonna make the one pair in the double knit, the Ponte di Roma, is a bit more dressier, and then the casual one is just great for beach day. I thought so it would be a nice thing to do as a pattern hack as well. And it's very easy. If you have your a knit pattern for a pair of pants, all you have to do is basically just usually widen the legs a little bit, because a lot of pants pattern do have a little bit of a tapering going on. And I think for knits, if you're sewing it with knits, it does look nicer. It has a little bit of more of a fullness. I guess you did the same thing, Malena, when you did the Fieldfare joggers that you
I added quite not a lot of width, but but also because the fabric that I chose was also like a terry fabric, but it didn't have any stretch at all. I bought it online, so I couldn't see the hand feel of it or try it out. So I added also a little bit because of the lack of stretch. So it's a little bit more relaxed fit on those. But it wasn't any issues or any problem. It's really easy to do. I have a blog post about it, how to do it. And one thing that I do recommend, if you hack your any trousers basically into shorts, is start with the front piece, decide how long inseam you want, and just pull or draw like a almost straight line at the front leg. Make it slightly curved though, not depending a little bit obviously on
and when you say
how
curved,
wide the leg
you
is.
Mean a little bit. I mean the hemline. Do you mean
the hemline exactly? A little bit up in the middle and a little bit down. Not a lot on the front, but usually it's a little soft curve. And then you mark on the side seam, you measure the side seam and inseam and mark those on the back pattern leg, so they are matching. And that line, the hemline there, that should actually be more curved. So it's actually a little bit shorter in the middle, because otherwise if you would draw that line completely straight, you would probably get a little bit droopy butt feeling, like it would hang down a little bit. So there I recommend to actually do it a little bit more curved. And the good thing is like you can sew up your shorts, try them on and see how it is. Like you can press the hem up, fold it, pin it, try it on, and then see like, do you need to make it more curved, or does it look okay or not? So don't do just completely straight hems. Usually it doesn't really look nice on short. You want them to be slightly curved. And
upwards.
Also align both the side seam to check that the hem is smooth, like it doesn't become pointy in any way. And also do the same thing with the inseam, like put the front and back inseam together, the pattern pieces, and just check that the line is also smooth. There it is usually pretty obvious like how the curve should be on the bottom hem, so that these are aligning smoothly. So that's my little pattern tip and hack. But it's super easy. If you have a trousers that fits you well, make them into a short. I mean, definitely you don't have to go the extra mile to start to refit another pair of shorts or anything. Just hack them into shorts.
Yeah, so what a great tip about the hemming. So just to explain, so both the front and the back piece on the shorts should have a slightly upwards curve, right, on the hem.
Yeah.
Both, but
on the front,
very
barely,
subtle, very
like
subtle.
minimum, depending a little bit also how wide the leg is.
Right.
But on the back, yes, definitely. I
love
a
that,
little bit more. Yeah.
And also it's a good idea if you have a pair of shorts already in your wardrobe, try to figure out the amount of ease around the leg area, so you have an idea. That could help you as well, because I think in pretty much, unless you want to do a very skinny fitting, you would probably need to extend the outseam and inseams quite a bit to get that, because you want a certain fullness around shorts, I think, for comfort as well, and again to bring back to the breathability aspect as well. If you have a little bit more flow, that will also make the shorts feel a lot more cooler in warmer weather as well. So I like to think them as a little more like a mini A-line shorts, like they have some body in them compared to a pair of pants where you kind of oftentimes want them, unless you're doing palazzo pants, you kind of want them to taper a little bit around the thigh area.
Yeah, and I found shorts, they can be a little bit tricky, the inseam length or like the leg length sometimes. I mean, the shorts I think looks really nice, but sometimes they just feel too short. I want them to have a little bit longer, but then they come like an awkward middle thigh length. That's just something in between, and I don't know. Can somebody please invent like a little bit longer short? I don't like wearing hot pants. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I get you. Yeah, it's either it's
otherwise
too short
it becomes like a cargo
yeah.
pants shorts. Yeah, something a little bit more dressier but slightly longer.
Yeah, and also get the width right. So of course, with length, you have to find that balance. I think it's a fascinating thing that you add a little bit more ease, but also that have to work with the length where it falls on the leg. So constructing a pair of balanced shorts in the right length, it's not that easy. It's just not. No, you can't just cut it off and hope for the best. There are proportions, as you say, and there's a sweet spot there in between that to try to figure that out. Because I agree with you. Me personally, I like to wear quite short shorts, especially because I'm quite short-legged, and I feel that if the short has the wrong length, I feel like my already short legs are kind of cut in the middle, so there's not much left. And I don't feel the same way with skirts, but there's something about shorts that can feel like it doesn't really work with your body and your proportions in a way. So it's a little bit trickier, I think, to get it right compared to a skirt.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And if you have longer shorts, then like the longer it is, like the more straight the bottom hem will be. So if it's like middle thigh or even longer, like then I would say that the bottom hem is more or less straight. So the curved bottom hem, that is more like when it's shorter shorts. So it is a little bit different there.
That's really good to know. It's so nice to have you sharing all these kind of great tips, Malena, because I don't think I had no idea about this as well. I would probably, because as I'm about to do this on myself on a pattern, I had no idea that it was a good idea to curve it actually a bit. Because I do that
like,
on tops.
Now it is like I want to explain and like more and more. Like the wider the pants, I mean, then also again the straighter the hem can be, because when you align them at the side seam, then you usually see it quite well, like how curved they need to be to have like a smooth. But usually at the back it becomes like a droopy, like they are hanging out a little bit. Like that's the reason why you want to curve them up a little bit, so it looks straight when you wear it.
We're gonna link in the show notes as well to your tutorial, and also perhaps you could post some of this on our Instagram account, Stitching Tales Pod, as well, so we can get an idea of it. So it's some things are a little bit hard to explain when we can't show it at the same time. But it's a great idea, and thank you for sharing this. I think I'm definitely gonna try this as well, because I'm doing a pair of pretty short shorts for summer, or 2, hopefully maybe 3 if I get the vibe. It's a good thing when you're doing it's such a gratifying thing to sew knit pants because they are so quick to sew. No zipper,
that is
no
so
complicated
easy.
Pockets, and no complicated waistband. It's just a rectangle, and then you just insert the elastic and you're good to go. So they're a great summer sew, and if you pick the right fabric, I think you can definitely sew wear shorts in knit fabric as well. You do not have to do it in woven. I mean, that's a great option.
Definitely.
And very much
much
on trend. I've seen a lot in the recent years. There has been a massive, especially the stretch terrier has been super popular style here in Sweden, at least. So I think probably in other countries as well, to have for summer.
I mean, comfort is everything. You want to be comfortable, especially in the warm, when it's so warm, if it ever comes warm here. You definitely want comfortable clothes. And you don't have to have zippers, and usually it's like a elastic at the waistband, so it's a little bit more, it's stretchy. We allow that.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable in the summer, definitely. That's not the time to feel constrained. You want to be free, loose, and happy, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I hope that we inspired you for some summer makes now, and maybe we even get some summer here in Sweden too. We'll see if we end up moving into fall before summer happen. But it's so fun. Even I get a little bit more excited about my summer sewing projects now that we talked about them, because I just lost my sewing mojo completely with this long spring, or whatever you might call it. I guess that it is summer technically, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, and it's a little bit funny also with like how into the seasons you are, and I don't know, maybe other people have more of a they can calculate like how long things are gonna take, and they actually start to prep them in advance, so they are done when the right season hits. But I'm not that kind of person, so it's like, oh, it's summer. Now I want to make something nice for the summer. And fingers crossed you finish it before the summer is gone.
Yeah. But there will always be new summers at least. So we have those. And it's happened me several times. I finished the garment and then I hardly ever got to wear it. But when summer comes around again, which it hopefully will, then we're good to go. So it's going to be interesting to see, Malena, if this is going to inform your future sewing patterns. If we're going to see some...
Yeah, I mean, I dream of making some woven patterns, actually, to most of it to be able to use those fabrics that I really like and enjoy. So fingers crossed. Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that. Stay tuned for more summer styles. So maybe...
But don't hold your breath. I mean, it's going to take a while.
Yeah. And you can also, I'm definitely, once I've done the Vide shorts hack, so to speak, I'm definitely going to post a tutorial on that as well. And so you can see how that can be done. And you can, as Malena said, you can use it on any pattern, regardless if it's a woven or a knit pattern. All right then. Well, I think that was all for this episode, and we'll see if the weather will be kinder. And if you want to learn more about us, you will find me, Johanna, over at thelaststitch.com, where you can find sewing patterns and sewing books and video courses and lots of sewing tutorials.
You can find me at hazelhenpatterns.com or at Instagram at Hazelhen Patterns.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Så.